Hey, I'm Jenny Ray LaRue, and I'm really excited today to do just a quick hit on a very exciting piece of news in the consulting industry, and that is that Stax will be joining Grant Thornton. And so today I'm joined by Paul Edwards. Paul, I'll give you a chance to introduce yourself, and then we'll dive into just a couple of questions. But mostly everybody's here because they want to know a little bit about the deal, how it went down, and what to look for next. So welcome to the pod. Tell us a little bit about you, and then let's talk about Stax.
That's great. Thank you. As you mentioned, Paul Edwards, Global Practice Lead here at Stax. I joined Stax in 2005, so I've definitely seen our evolution through a front row seat and hopefully being part of some of the building as well over that 20 years. And as you'd mentioned, obviously exciting news last week about our merger and partnership with our friends at Grant Thornton.
Amazing. Well, we want to dive into some of the questions, but first of all, tell us what a global practice leader is. You know, one of the things about consulting firms is that we like to make stuff up, including titles and roles. So what does that actually mean that you do for Stax so that we can understand the perspective that you're coming from for the rest of the news?
It is a very made up title. You're absolutely right. Global practice lead, a good way to think about it is almost like chief strategy officer, which may also be a made up title, but a chief strategy officer really around trying to better understand ways in which we as a business can evolve our products, our markets, our customers, putting ourselves in a better place to do better work for the people that we serve. And by doing so, hopefully making for a broader and better experience for our people as well. So that's been a lot of my focus for much of the last 2 or 3 years.
So you caught the wave early in 2005. What was it that you saw? There was a vision with Stax that's kind of becoming, at least in part, realized through this transition now. What was it that you saw then? And then let's talk about what's happening in the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I was the fourth person to join our then Cambridge, Massachusetts office. We were serving a variety of corporate clients as well as portfolio companies and a nascent private equity practice. And our founder, Rafi Mosher, had sort of approached me and thought the private equity was a really good thing for us to continue expanding into. And I had always been curious about private equity, done a little bit of work with private equity, but not a ton prior to '05. But for us, as a business, Rafi just thought that it was the way that the traditional consulting models looked weren't really very well equipped to serve the needs of private equity. Even back then, data-driven, speed, original research, all of those things were really critical for private equity folks to be making the right decisions in often constrained timeframes. And so from the ground up, we built a business that was built to work at the pace of private equity and ideally was addressing everything that private equity was looking to be served by as well. And that gave us even at a smaller scale, a little bit of an advantage because we weren't necessarily carrying, other products that were slower or more broad, and it just allowed us to be more focused, as it were. And from those early beginnings, we extended the products, we extended the delivery platform, we extended the markets, the geographies, the clients we were serving as well. But we always retained and have retained this sort of idea of still being a boutique and very much of what I'll call an insurgent mindset, where we try to take what's normal and what's usual and try to improve it and try to better it. And I think that's been the hallmark of our business for several decades.
When I was at Bain in 2005, I partially joined the firm because I was excited about the practice area that they were focusing on. And private equity at the time was about 25% of Bain's business and the fastest growing line. So I think you caught the right wave there. I think that was really good. And you mentioned a little bit about the evolution of the firm over your 2 decades with Stax. Can you mention anything specific that you've seen evolve? You mentioned growth kind of in all areas, but I think anytime somebody comes to the party in an investment thesis, when they say, "Hey, we want Stax to become a part of what we're doing," they look at something specific that you've done that's unique. What would you say 1 or 2 of those things have been?
Yeah, I mean, when I joined Stax, we were a boutique with an insurgent mindset, and to be honest, today we are a boutique with an insurgent mindset, and culturally, that's how we feel. I always say that if you're in a Stax office 20 years ago or today, it should feel the same. It's good people doing good work for good people. It's people being challenged by some of the smartest minds in corporate America, and it's folks who really have a can-do attitude to serve private equity as well. Back then, small teams very much focused on sharp, data-driven diligence. And over two decades, we've really evolved to scale globally, of course. We've expanded our sector expertise and even doubling down on sector expertise as the market has evolved that way as well.
What sectors in particular? Can you speak to one or two of the sectors that, you
Yes.
are the global practice leader after all?
Yeah, let me get my notes. I'm kidding. We have, services is a very big practice area for us. Business services, financial services, marketing services, software, very big. Our data point is we've worked on or for 71% of all sponsor-backed software assets. And so there's a lot of experience there to pull on. Healthcare would be a third practice area. Industrials as a fourth practice area, and consumer retail as a fifth. And actually last week we more formalized the launch of our government and education practice. Government's a little bit more of a horizontal. 15% of every vertical is really government or some element of public. But we formalized it just given the growth that we've seen ourselves and also within the private equity market around investments in things like GovTech and education technology, etc. Sort of formalized that. Has been great over the last few weeks.
So in 1 week, you announced your partnership with Grant Thornton and formalized a new practice area. So I think I think that should tell people something about the way that y'all operate. This is not a slow place to work, right?
It's not, and we always say that this has been a great process because I think for us this process of finding the next partner, we're within the industry. We've been private equity owned for just over 3.5 years. It's you don't need a crystal ball to know that there's going to be a transaction at some stage. We're very grateful and thankful for our current owners because there was a lot of opportunity for us to meet a variety of suitors and to discuss and decide how we were going to potentially think about our next stage of ownership. And so, we even though it's exciting, the news of last week, we still have a business to run in August and September and October, etc. And that's where we've been really, really focused.
Yeah, you can take December off, but not right now.
No.
So, well, let's dive in a little bit. It sounds like you had a lot of opportunity to do some speed dating or first dates with a couple of different organizations. So, Grant Thornton, right? From your perspective, why was it the right partner for you, and how does your private equity expertise really complement what they're doing over at Grant Thornton?
Yeah, I think if you go back to that evolution piece, our own evolution has really mirrored private equity's own trajectory. It's moved from transactional diligence to more value creation. It's moved sort of from Excel to PowerPoint, if you like, in Microsoft Office terms. It's become more subsector focused. It's become about partnerships with management teams. There's still obviously the expectation around rigor and actionable insights and speed and all of those things. But, as we've evolved with private equity, so we've all adapted to this broadening offering, but also preserving the entrepreneurial culture that's really defined us over 30 years.
We surveyed 250 candidates who got offers at firms like McKinsey, Bain, BCG, Deloitte, and Accenture. And we asked them, how many cases did you practice before you landed your offer? And the answer was an average of 22 cases. If you haven't already started your prep, you're falling behind your peers. And this isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to urge you to take action today. I needed that urgency to get a successful offer at Bain. If you need expert support or additional guidance, join our Black Belt Case Prep program. You'll work one-on-one with an MBB coach to get case interview ready, including a tailored prep plan that's customized just for you. Our cohorts are phenomenal, and they always sell out. Go to the link in the description to learn more about Black Belt and join today. Your consulting offer is just one decision away.
With Grant Thornton, we saw similarities, with a lot of similarities, not just in terms of the client base that they serve, but also the way they serve them. There's a similar insurgent mentality there. there's a similar desire to change the way things have been done historically within their own product lines. There's a desire to do more for your current client, and really that's where we fit in. The idea that private equity or investment banks or management teams would like to see more product from fewer vendors, we see as a direction of travel for this industry. And for us, we see that our work is highly complementary, not just at the go-to-market end of the spectrum, but also, the way it sits with the other products that Grant Thornton has, especially within deal and sort of post-deal advisory, incredibly complementary as well. So for us, I think what we saw with them was that obviously the benefit to us was scale, brand, broader platform, but things that really allowed us to amplify the strengths of Stax, not things that kind of reduced those strengths. And I think that for us is, and every interaction that we had with the team at Grant Thornton over a multi-month period, just reinforced those considerations as well.
Well, you've mentioned a lot about your culture and your people over time. So let's talk a little bit about the next steps for the evolution of how you expect culture and people to change. Do you expect to grow at the same pace, faster, in different offices, across different verticals? But also there are different models, obviously, in the consulting mergers and acquisition industry where some people get fully assimilated and the names are the same and it's just a practice area. There's others where you're just two operating firms that cross-refer, and there's some blend, somewhere also in between there. So can you tell us just a little bit about the model and the plans for what people can expect from you going forward?
Yeah, I think more of the middle ground of what you just described there, for sure. I think that, when you think about this from a people standpoint, I think it's really what excites me most, to be honest with you. It's the opportunity to scale our culture without really losing what makes us special, and what makes the culture special, and what makes our ability to deliver to our clients special as well. We've really thrived in the entrepreneurial roll up your sleeves mindset where people grow as quickly as they can grow and make an outsized impact quickly within a business. We've always had the mentality that if you're good enough, you're experienced enough, and folks can come here and really accelerate their careers as well. We see a lot of that in Grant Thornton with the way that those guys have built the practice, and then also the way that they're expanding as well. And I think for us, we'll preserve that agility while giving people access to broader career paths, broader resources, global reach. Even the number of offices domestically that Grant Thornton has, being 50, gives a lot of places for our people to work out of as well. So ideally, it's going to provide much more opportunity, deepen expertise, collaborate across disciplines, bigger solutions to our clients and benefit our clients. And, ideally, the team can still feel that Stax DNA, while benefiting from a platform that accelerates professional growth and amplifies our impact.
So let me just kind of reiterate, because I want to talk a little bit about, as my final question, just what the clients will experience from you. And you've touched on a couple of things. So I want to make sure I heard you correctly and also give you an opportunity to build on it. It sounds like one of the goals is that where you're serving clients or where Grant Thornton is serving clients, instead of having two vendors, the goal is to have a single relationship that can kind of cover both of those aspects of the business. So the middle ground makes sense. It would be a singular relationship that would offer multiple things in terms of services. In terms of the scope of the clients that you serve, your primary focus, at least in recent years, has largely been on private equity or owner-driven businesses. But Grant Thornton's is not only private equity or owner-driven businesses, so you would cross-serve for the ones that they are offering as well. Have I gotten it right so far? You're gonna.
That's exactly
right. You can
right.
redirect me. Okay.
No, that's
but
exactly.
then I think it's helpful to understand, what would an engagement look like? Does that mean that your people then will be cross-trained on both pieces, or does it mean that you'll have kind of dual teams or mixed teams that are serving? Can you just talk from the client's perspective how their experience will change from working with you?
Yeah, the client's perspective, it'll be very much business as usual. So in other words, the client will see seniors and our sort of product leads collaborating more at the client interface and being able to bring more to bear to the client themselves. from a delivery standpoint and an advisory standpoint, nothing really changes. Our teams still deliver our work and vice versa. And, there's a specialty, be that vertical specialty or sector specialty and product specialty, that there will be the opportunity for folks to sort of cross-pollinate. But, what we're really looking to do is to make sure that we're best of breed in everything we do, even if we're bringing things together at the client interface. So, it's less about sort of team working on 9 different things in 9 different sectors, more about the idea that there's going to be a broadening of experiences for the type of clients that the teams can work with, and also opportunity should they choose to, move into adjacent products or serve clients slightly differently as well. I think the biggest opportunities really lie in combining our deal and sector expertise with the breadth of capabilities that Grant Thornton has. And remember that this is less about just a transaction from a private equity standpoint. If you're engaged in someone like Stax or Grant Thornton, it's about the continuation through an investment life cycle. Who do we buy? How do we grow them? How do we exit them? And those sort of steps are things that we now collectively have a lot more reason to provide value and advisory strength to our clients across that journey as well. Private equity is not viewing these things as sort of discrete vertical engagements now. They're looking for much more of a horizontal relationship and a genuine advisory relationship. And I think that this integrated approach to, deal, growth, exit is likely to be in our clients' best interest, as well as obviously our people's best interest too.
Well, as we wrap today, y'all are living the dream for some people, right? Build something, sell it, continue to build it going forward. Do you have any key words of advice for folks that are earlier on the pathway to you in 2005 or maybe even before, and anything that you want to leave everybody with before we sign off?
I think, everyone in our industry and our business remembers that we're professional services, which basically means that we have to be client-centric. You have to evolve to listen to clients and to react to what clients are looking for. Professional services is always people-centric businesses as well. You've got to be providing your people with the best opportunities and the best means to grow and the best means to be successful. And I think that regardless if you're 5 people in Cambridge, Massachusetts, or, a $4 billion business or whatever will be in a month's time, those tenets are incredibly consistent and vital, and they don't change with scale or size. And, long may we, continue to work in our clients and our people's best interests.
Awesome. Well, congratulations to your whole team. Lots of work ahead. So it's kind of one of those congratulations with an asterisk, right? It's like you're just getting started, but we're excited for you. We're excited to have been a part of the journey so far, and we're excited to continue to share, the great news with the rest of the global consulting community. So thank you for joining us today, Paul.
Fantastic. Thank you for your time.